with us. At approximately 10:30 tonight, one of our shift supervisors, Lieutenant Will Rogers, pulled into the parking lot at the service station that you see behind me. He exited his vehicle and was talking to a customer in the parking lot, whereupon a subject came from behind the building with a mask on and shot Deputy Rogers. Deputy Rogers is currently undergoing surgery at MUSC, and I would ask that you keep he and his family in your prayers. That service station is in the town of Moncks Corner. Moncks Corner and SLED are conducting the investigation involving the shooting. The subject that shot Lieutenant Rogers then carjacked a car out of the parking lot at that service station and fled the area. He's been described as a male, 5'10" to 6'4", 200 to 225 pounds, but of a thin build. He had on a black mask. He had on a white long sleeve shirt. He had on dark or gray running pants with a white stripe down the side. And he was carrying, and please take note of this, he was carrying what appears to be a silk red and maroon sack, a bag. He's armed and considered dangerous. The vehicle that he carjacked, the sheriff's office has recovered, and it's been turned over to SLED for processing. As normally happens in situations like this where we have officers shot, we have had a significant response from our fellow jurisdictions. I'm sure I'll probably leave somebody out. The South Carolina Highway Patrol, SLED, the City of Charleston, the City of North Charleston, the town of Bono, St. Stephen's, the town of Moncks Corner, Utahville, Charleston County, Dorchester County, Hanahan, Goose Creek, Berkeley Rescue, DNR, and the United States Marshals, just to mention a few. And our heartfelt thanks go out to all of those that responded tonight. Lieutenant Rogers has been in law enforcement for well over 25 years. Again, I ask you to keep he and his family in your prayers as he is undergoing surgery at the present time. I'm not going to go into any details on the shooting other than what I've told you. That's being handled by SLED in the town of Moncks Corner. I'm sure Mr. Berry at SLED, when it's appropriate, will release what he can release. We are still actively searching the area where we recovered the vehicle, which is between where we stand and Bushy Park. We're still actively searching that area for the subject. Unknown at this time if that subject is black or white. The description that we've given you is the only description that the witnesses were able to give us. Again, keep this family in your prayers.
So I'm sorry, we said we do not know if the suspect is black or white?
We do not.
Okay.
Just to clarify, do you know if Lieutenant Rogers had any interaction with the suspect before?
He had none.
Do you know what happened prior at all to the shooting? Do we know what spurred the suspect, anything at all?
Lieutenant Rogers was in the parking lot talking to a customer when the subject came from behind the building and shot Lieutenant Rogers.
Do you know whether any part of the shooting was caught on video?
I don't know. That would be something that SLED would have to answer. They're actively working the crime scene.
And do you know where on his body he was shot?
He was shot in several locations.
Do you know how many times?
I'm not going to release that. Again, that's SLED in the town of Moncks Corner. Any other questions that I might could answer?
Do you think this was random?
Have no idea at this time. No idea at all. I have given you what we know.
Do you know whether he was wearing a body camera at all?
He was not.
How about the customer? Were there any other injuries?
Nobody else was injured, to my knowledge.
I'm sorry, I may have said this. Was he on duty?
Sir, he was. He is a night shift supervisor.
The car the suspect left in was carjacked, or was it stolen? Or
It was carjacked here at the service
so there was
station.
somebody in it and he took it out, or he...
The person was out of the car, and the bad guy took the car.
with the key still in it?
They were.
Okay.
I'm sorry, was that the same vehicle that was found? Or
Yes, that's the car that has been recovered.
That's the black Santa Fe?
It's a black car. I'm not sure what make.
Were there any other cars involved?
Not to my knowledge. Thank you very much.